Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Autumn and Phil back for a Cape Talk episode 24. And if you were with us at the end of last week, you know we were both really anticipating seeing Black Panther this weekend. So now we're back. We've both seen it.
Yeah. So a long weekend. We're kind of tired, but I finally got to see it yesterday. So you've seen it for a while. It lived up to the hype, I feel.
Yeah.
That's plain and simple.
When you left the theater, what were you thinking about? What stuck with you at that moment?
I just loved the lore and like the world they built.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like. I could have seen myself go home and just deep dive in like Marvel Wiki to understand everything about Wakanda. That's kind of how I wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just a great movie, great characters.
Were you going in with any comic book knowledge?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
What's his name? Mubaku, whatever. Mm-hmm. I knew a little bit about him. His character's way different.
What did you know about him?
That he's not too much, but he's like a legit bad guy for Black Panther. And in this movie, he's not.
Right.
Which is nice.
Yeah, at least. We saw a little tension, but nothing but some healthy competition.
But exactly, that's what it was. Yeah. It's like nothing that made him a villain. You know what I mean? It's like he wasn't conniving. He wasn't anything like that. He was just in the rules of the Wakanda way.
Right.
He was like, I challenge, and he lost. And
I love that he tapped out.
Well, I loved how he was like, I'm not tapping out.
Yeah.
You have to kill me.
Right, and he
did. And T'Challa was like, no, your people need you. Don't do that.
Yeah.
And then he was like, okay, fine. Mm-hmm. And I came back at the end, obviously, and we'll get to that in a bit.
Well, that was at the very beginning, and what did you think of the way that they quickly glossed over the origin, kind of without taking the whole movie to do so?
That's fine. I think that's great because it's too. You only have 2 hours.
Right, and that's how it opened, right?
It was just I guess a young T'Challa was asking his father about stuff, and his father was giving him the history of Wakanda, and like this whole CGI kind of thing. So that was cool. It was like, there's 5 tribes, or I think it was 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 5 tribes in Wakanda, and one isolated themselves, and the other one's a hero, and the Panther tribe is the one that leads everyone. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's like quick to the point. It's like this is what you need to know about this place.
And then it picked right up in Oakland, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I believe that it was Oakland because that's where the Black Panther Party was established in Oakland, I believe. So, and I think Ryan Coogler is from Oakland as well.
Yes,
so he probably had both. He incorporated probably both of those things into the way he decided to portray the city, and I kind of like that immediately.
I mean, sorry to cut you off, but it's like Oakland is just like. When you think of Oakland, it's kind of like enriched in like black culture with like NWA and all that kind of stuff. That area, so it's just like you think of like Friday movies and like all about the West Coast and everything like that. So you think
West Coast, you think Oakland, you think Compton,
you think that kind of way of life, sort of thing. So that's pretty much why I think that's why they chose that.
Right.
Not to say it wasn't because of his hometown or whatever. So
I think it was also just the. To pay homage to the Black Panther Party, the comic book and, the name. And basically every movement, the movement in general.
The whole thing.
We saw a little bit of, the Black Panther Party and Killmonger, a little bit of his character as well. So I think all the way that tied in, I thought thematically speaking was really smart.
It was just very. I don't know. I don't want to say strong. Because that's kind of cliche almost, where it's just like, it's just very well done. And that's how my fiance put it, was just like, it's very well done.
Yeah.
Where someone who does nothing, knows shit about Black Panther or comic books, she enjoyed the movie. Where it's just like, the characters were great, the world was great, and the story was just phenomenal.
To me, 2 movies were made in this movie.
It felt like a 2 halves kind of movie.
Yeah.
It really did. But it kind of... I'm not going to say it didn't feel like 2 movies. It did feel like 2 movies for the good and for the bad also. But I thought it was really well transitioned in how they meshed together.
Absolutely. It was seamless. I mean, it was like if you wanted to look within, you could. If you just wanted to go to the theater and see shit, see cool fight scenes, you could do that too. You know, but if you wanted something a little bit deeper, that was there for you to explore and think about after you left the theater, and to like a lot. I know while I was leaving the theater, I was like laying in my bed for like hours, like, oh shit, like analyzing, you know, all the you know, imperialists and, you know, colonialism, like things that they explored.
The themes,
So yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, we opened up the movie with like the whole origin of Wakanda, and then T'Challa's coming in because he's, you know, this takes place like right after Civil War, so he's now going to become the new king.
Right.
So, you know, he's on his way, and we have like a little scene where we're introduced to Okoye and Nakia. I hope I don't butcher anyone's name.
Nakia, yeah.
Nakia, like in the La Femme Nikita?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no T in that.
Yeah. So we introduced to those two, and we get like their kind of like motives, and it was very funny too in a way. Like, oh, don't freeze. And you see it in the trailers, and I'm like, what did he talk about freeze? And then we finally understand what they mean in the movie, because that's like obviously spoiler alerts. Like already into the movie, like it was like we're like 10 minutes in. Yeah, like 10 minutes, 5 minutes in. And it's like, oh, spoiler warning now. That Nakia is like his ex, apparently, from I don't know how long ago.
It seemed like weird. It seemed like ex was almost a forced term. It just seemed like they're like.
It didn't seem like they were ever together.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And yet, somewhat, it did in a way.
Maybe that's just the way relationships work in Wakanda. You know, it's
like they're, oh, she's my ex. Like so you guys were together and you broke up. Why?
Yeah, and you're still like hanging out and shit. Like it's.
I mean, they weren't really hanging out. Like she was doing her own thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But it was just like weird. It's like, oh yeah, she's my ex. Like, oh, okay. It's like I just figured you guys were like friends and you gotta have like this will they won't they sort of thing. But whatever. So we get introduced to them, and then we get the whole cool scene of, you know, him getting the trial, right?
The initiation, kind of.
The initiation of
The
tradition. The tradition of him, like, they're taking away his Black Panther power, and they go through each of the representatives of the tribes, like, do you object to this? Do you want to challenge for it or whatever? And everyone is saying no. And then finally, that's when M'Baku and his I can't even pronounce his tribe's
Jabari,
name.
I think.
It's Jabari? Okay.
Yeah.
The Jabari tribe come out of nowhere, and they're like, they're never around. I'm like, oh, I'm finally here. I have my right to do whatever. So they fight. We have a nice fight scene, and T'Challa wins.
Yeah.
So now he's king. So then he gets his powers back, and they go through this whole burial thing.
Now, okay, let's talk about this burial thing,
Yeah.
because it also kind of, to me, and I was talking to Scott of all people, believe it or not.
Scott Crafts?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
And we were talking about how he interpreted it as watching the movie was that, you know how spoilers, we didn't see the Soul Stone, right? So Scott and I were talking, and he brought up the idea of the Soul Stone being underneath the dirt where they bury you or whatever. But then we were thinking, no, because he gets covered in snow too. So maybe that wasn't.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's. It's one of those things where if that's true, that's cool. But like, oh, that's neat. But like, I wouldn't put money on it.
Yeah.
I think
or maybe in the flower petal of the. Or it's grown with the...
No, I mean, that's vibranium, though.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know if it's... I mean, I guess it would be.
People were searching all... I personally think that we just didn't see it in Wakanda.
You think it's in Wakanda, though?
But I just don't think we didn't see it, because how do we...
But you do think it's in Wakanda?
Yeah, I do. Because...
it makes sense that if...
Like, because he's visiting those lost souls, you know, he gets covered, he goes into this, you know, the... like the animal world, I guess, or the soul.
You know what's funny? Like, it's so bad. I kept thinking of like Lion King.
I know, or the spirit world, I should say.
Yeah, like the spirit world, like of all the ancestors and everything.
So people are thinking the Soul Stone, the souls. Maybe that's
because Killmonger got the same thing, but he didn't go obviously to where T'Challa went. Mm-hmm. And I think they might have explained that where he was gonna go. Like, I don't know if it's like whatever's in your heart or in your mind.
Right.
Because obviously Killmonger got taken back to his home where he found his father there.
Right.
So, I don't know. Maybe.
That was a heartbreaking... I didn't see... That first initial twist where we're back in Oakland, I didn't see that coming. That was like a whole.
Oh, in the beginning,
where he kills his brother. I was like, damn.
Oh, I didn't think he killed him. I thought he was like exiled somewhere.
What do you mean?
Like, I thought they brought him back because they cut it off. We don't see him to the end.
Oh yeah.
So that, or I'm taking you back to Wakanda. I thought they would take him back to Wakanda, and he's probably like a slave somewhere.
I thought he's dead.
I didn't think he was dead.
I thought he killed him, like right there.
No, it was never.
I thought it was.
No.
Get out.
It was never said.
No, I thought he stabbed him.
No.
Yes, he did.
No, he stabbed him. We found that out later.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I
literally just saw this yesterday.
Phil, god damn it! What if this is the one time that your memory is wrong?
No. No, it's not.
It's usually not.
No, because I swear it got cut off where we found out the guy, the Forrest Whitaker, his younger self, was the spy.
Right.
And he says, I'm taking you back to Wakanda. And that's literally how it ends.
No, it doesn't.
It ends right there.
T'Chaka comes in and
no,
fucking knifes him.
No, T'Chaka comes in and they have to talk with his brother. Right.
No, he's dead, Phil. I swear to God.
No, he didn't die in the first scene.
Oh, you're saying he died, but not in the first scene.
Yeah, he didn't. Yes, I'm saying like in that flashback they cut it off. We didn't see him die until later.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, I'm mushing it all together.
Yeah, because I was just like, I thought he was like taken back to Wakanda.
Okay.
That's what I thought. I was like, oh, he was probably a slave somewhere.
Yeah.
But or like a prisoner or whatever. So yeah, that was interesting.
God, that actor is so good. That This Is Us.
The guy from This Is Us? Yeah, he's good.
And it was really nice to see him in this role. It was just like a different emotional role, you know, than This Is Us. Where he's just like making us cry all the time.
I mean, he made you cry.
He did.
He's still making you cry. What's the guy's name, you know?
Yeah, I do. And I'll think of it in about 2 seconds and interrupt you later.
Nope, it's alright. But yeah, that was a good scene because it was like, I love how they knock. And then the guy goes, it's like, some girls are here or whatever.
Yeah.
So I open it. Why? Is it because they're not going to knock again? So this is the only time.
Oh, because he, like, sensed them coming.
Oh, yeah, because he knew they were coming, yeah. And then that's when Black Panther showed up or whatever. It was interesting because you saw, like, the lights. I didn't think there was, like, Wakanda.
Yeah.
And I thought it was, like, an alien. I don't know. I was wondering, like, where are those green lights in the sky?
Oh, my God. That's too funny. But
yeah,
so they go back to Wakanda. We get a little bit. We see the scenery.
Yeah. So after T'Challa becomes the king, we introduce her sister Shuri, who was like, "Oh yeah, look at all this new gear I got." Blah blah blah. And that's when we get the new Black Panther suit. And then
she's like, "What are those?" Yeah,
the shoes. Yeah, she was really funny.
Yeah. Did you get the reference?
What?
It was like to a Vine.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What, to the shoes?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
You know when she, like, goes, what are those?
Yeah, his sandals or whatever he was wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that reference because I'm old. But anyway, so we introduce to Shuri, and then we get this whole thing where, then we finally meet Killmonger in that museum, right?
Right.
Whereas Michael B. Jordan looking at this museum, and he's like, oh, yeah, what's this? He's like asking all these questions. And the woman who's, like, the expert, and she's like, no, that's actually from Wakanda. And we see Claw, and they break in, and they steal the vibranium pick, or whatever the hell that was. So, yeah, that's the bad guys, pretty much.
Yeah, and then they take off, right?
It was pretty short and sweet. It's like, this is what they're together, they're working together.
The next big thing is where they all end up in Korea.
Yeah. But we needed to, like, obviously see Claw with the vibranium and everything. And then we go back to T'Challa, and he goes to the council of all the other elders or whatever, and they're like, so Claw was seen stealing vibranium, blah, 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 we need to bring him back. And that's where we get the guy from Get Out.
Yeah.
He's the leader of the border tribe people.
Right.
And he's like, his father was killed when Claw was there the first time. So he really wants Claw dead.
Right.
Or captured or whatever. So T'Challa promises him, yep, I'm going to bring him back. We're going to go to Korea because he's going to sell it to an American buyer.
Right.
So him, Okoye, and Nikita go...
Nakia.
What'd I say?
Nikita.
I don't say Nikita.
Oh, it's just your accent, then.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. You fucking New Yorker.
Yes. Nakia. Like Nokia. What a... but anyway... We get so then we go to Korea, pretty much.
Yep.
And that's a really good scene where it's like a lot of. Oh, you know what's funny too? I didn't even know like Okoye was the girlfriend or the wife or whoever of the guy.
I know.
Because they were like, they both got the same thing, and they were like, my king, my love, and we were like, oh, okay. I was like, oh damn.
One of the final scenes between them two is one of my favorite. Like,
yeah.
When
I have a problem with his character though.
Why?
The Get Out guy.
Yeah. Well,
just the motives of him betraying T'Challa.
Oh, I know, that was bull.
It was a little forced.
Yeah.
Like the whole, we'll get to it in a bit. Like the whole Killmonger thing, and them just kind of like accepting it, just annoyed me a bit.
Yeah.
Just be like, yeah, I'm here. I'm. You know, I obviously had evidence.
Yeah.
But like, yo, give us some time. Like, yo, can we investigate this a little further? Because it's like, oh yeah, I have this ring or whatever. I'm the son of this guy. It's like, I'm gonna just take your word for it. Yeah. No, get the hell out of here. No. I don't know. It was just so weird to me.
Yeah, but I mean, to find out that your former king like did such a terrible thing, you know.
I mean, obviously T'Challa knew about it before Killmonger showed up.
Yeah. Are you saying that he should have came clean earlier?
That about Killmonger?
No, about his father, killing Killmonger's father and abandoning Killmonger.
There was no reason to bring it up.
Or saying that you wish that maybe that was more investigated, you know?
Yeah, like he shows up, right? Because he after killing Claw and everything, he shows up to the border and he's like, here's a gift. So now he wants an audience with the people, right?
Yeah.
So he comes into the room, disrespects everybody, and is like, I want a claim to the throne. And I'm just like sucking this thing.
No, you're fine.
He wants a claim to the throne. He wants to fight. He wants to do all this stuff. And it's like, no one questions it. I don't know. That's how it came off to me. It was just like, even when he goes, ask me who I am. T'Challa knows who he is because he already found out that that's his cousin. But like, and he has the ring and everything. So it's like, I don't know. It just came off very like forced to me. Yeah. It's just like, he's like, oh, I want to kill the throne. I'm like, no, I'm not giving you shit. It's like, no.
He was kind of just like powering and intimidating his way through the conversation.
Yeah, but it's like, and then T'Challa, like, I guess like,
it did all happen pretty fast.
T'Challa, like, I mean, at the end of the day, if T'Challa doesn't accept the challenge, then maybe we go through all that.
You know what?
But he was just like, all right, fine, you want to fight me?
While I was in the movie and right after that, I was like, was that double initiation battle like really necessary? To have him do that first in the beginning of the movie and then literally within the first 45 minutes have him redo that whole thing again? You know what I mean?
Well, I joked while I was watching it, I'm like, oh damn, he had to get his powers taken away again.
That
sucks.
Now that you remind me of the emotion behind the scene and what propelled it, I will say I was like, wait, this again? And I was like,
I mean, it makes sense. Like, the first time they did it, because they want to establish this is how it's done.
Right.
And so when they did it, they had to do it again, which I would have been like, no, you have to wait. It's too late. You weren't there. Like, my whole thing was like, well, the initiation's already done.
Yeah.
Like, you missed your chance. You should have been there yesterday.
Yeah.
And then maybe we could discuss this. You were not there, so you gotta wait till I die.
I mean, I do. You make a good argument, Phil.
I don't know. That was just. No,
I will say because I did not enjoy it, but I was like, why are we doing this whole thing again?
Yeah.
And the battle between them two, with him like dying or whatever, killing him, like
throwing off the waterfall.
I'm just trying to think like how much impact did that scene have with T'Challa supposedly dying and Killmongering like running the city? Like, how much could you have left that part out and the movie still been fine? I think yes. Like, I think there might have been a way to bridge those two storylines without kind of redoing that entire thing.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Like, I think they wanted to get him as the king and like the differing ideals.
And they couldn't just bring him in from the get. So like, I understand that. But
I mean, as we really get to it when we talk about like Killmonger and his motives.
Yeah.
Because like I have some problems with his motives. Like I understand his motives, but I have a little bit of a problem. Like obviously his motives were he was obviously abandoned. Like they killed his father. He's been abandoned. You know, and then he had to go through this whole hardship of life and find out that Wakanda is this wonderful place, and with like technology that can help people and our people, you know, the African Americans are like, oh, we're struggling and dying,
and Africans around the world,
yeah, like everyone of
everyone
color,
else, yeah.
It's just like we're all suffering around the world, and you guys are keeping everything to yourselves, and it's like that's bullshit, right? That's his thing. But when we find like that's all noble and all, but then like the way he goes about it is so like over the top villainous in a way, where it's just like, yeah, your motives are nice, but the way you're going about it is so like wrong.
See, so for me personally, I find comfort in that storyline, and it's just because I don't want to simplify it to like the Malcolm X, like, you know, Martin Luther King thing. I don't want to simplify it to that, but
between the two of them,
right? But you know, he was that reactionary, revolutionary type, and it's like, it's kind of like by any means necessary, and something about that mindset is very comforting, and I feel like if you're faced with oppression your entire life, I feel like that's a valid reaction. I mean, he's a military guy, he's been trained to kind of kill, and so I don't know. I feel like his narrative was almost more comforting to me than the other one.
Maybe my problem, maybe I'm oversimplifying it, was like Nakia had the exact same motives, but was a way more peaceful manner. They were both wanting the same thing.
But she also has a sense of belonging, and I think that's what it comes down to for Killmonger, where like he doesn't have a sense, doesn't belong anywhere in his mind. So I feel like that kind of lone wolf approach, for lack of a better term, you know, I think like his relatives set him up for that kind of life.
Oh yeah, you know? Like they did him dirty for sure. Like there was no reason why.
But I did see people complaining about the way like he treated women and stuff like that.
Oh, I saw that take. That was a little over the top, honestly. Yeah. But like comparing to Chris Brown, I think I read that somewhere, where it's just like.
That's a bit.
That's just coincidental. Yeah. It just happened to be like women were all over the place and fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was like picking out women. You know what I mean? No, women were coming after him because they're the warriors of the nation.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I don't know. I think it's just because like Nakia exactly had the exact early in the movie was like, we need to actually give our resources out to the world, and which is pretty much what Killmonger wanted to do. But he wants to do it in a way extreme manner.
Right.
So it's just like, well, she already had the idea in the movie. So I don't know. It just kind of fell flat after that for me. Where it was just like, okay, yeah, I get it, but like, they were kind of on the verge of doing that anyway.
Well, think about it like this. So Nakia has obviously known T'Challa for a very long time, right? Look, it sounds like years and years. She's felt this way, but her influence has never been able to kind of create that change or change his mind and make him react and go out to the U.S.
Well, he wasn't the king anyway.
Well, yeah, but, you know.
Previous
you get where I'm going with
were not.
Yeah.
We're in that old mindset of whatever.
Right. And Killmonger's view kind of took, you know, what are those things that you like start your cars with if they don't start?
Boosters?
Whatever the fuck. He kind of just put him on there and was like, all right, like, let's, you know. So it's that same similar argument where it's like, yes, violence isn't the right answer, but violence is what people pay attention to when you challenge them like that. And I think in order to force that kind of moral, compelling moral arc, you know, T'Challa really had to be kind of challenged.
Like he would have kept me if he didn't go the so violent route. You know what I mean? Where it was just like, we're just going to give our weapons to our people on the ground in these countries, and they're going to overtake people.
Of course,
all right, you went a little too far there.
That was a bit much, yeah.
And that's what's like, you lost me, because it's like, okay, now you're just a villain.
Yeah.
You came in with a good point, and now you're just like, and, you know, when he first showed up, it was very compelling. Oh, yeah, I was the guy who was abandoned.
But is that worse than, say, a slave trade happening around Wakanda, and Wakanda's not giving a fuck? Who's more villainous?
Oh no! I'm not
playing devil's advocate. I'm not like challenging you. I'm just playing. You know what I mean? It's like that's why that's the whole.
That was another theme which I appreciated in this movie, where it's like the old regime versus the new regime, and like getting out of like social, not norms, but like kind of like oldest history of like we're just gonna be isolated into ourselves, and T'Challa had to be the one Nakia was kind of trying to tell T'Challa, we got to do more, and he finally understands that we need to do more also, and Killmonger obviously helped with that, where it was just like, no, we're changing the way we do things, and like hundreds of years of tradition is out the window. Yeah. So it's just like, so they just changed it in that way. It was just like, okay, we're going this way, but it's just one of those things where it's just like the old guard rather had their heads in the sand. Like, I don't care about what happens outside. I only care about my people. Yeah. But it goes about like, but Killmonger was our people, and we just like abandoned him. That was the whole point. It was just like, he is our people, and then Killmonger's point is like, well, our people are out there. People who don't live in Wakanda, they're still our people out there. I
love the one he was like, well, everyone's ancestry originates from Africa. Yeah. And it wasn't even just, in my eyes, extended to just people of color. It was like people of color in the definition that we in America defined of color as, but it was him reaching out for anybody who faces adversity, when he said that line in particular. So, I thought the movie, but to me, I interpreted it in a different way, I think, and a little bit backwards. Not backwards, we interpreted the same thing. My process was in a different way. Yeah, you got there. Where it was like Wakanda in the comics, like, the irony just couldn't escape me. Like, that's what I really liked about the film, was like, Wakanda is this fictitious, real place, but, fictitious in the sense that it couldn't be any more different than, like, the reality we live in, where it's like this kind of utopia for, African people, and it's like, everyone there is wealthy, but they're pretty much just like a closed group. And I feel like the only way to really challenge that and to kind of go deeper in the narrative, like, was to explore, like, the problems that would also come with, like, a world or a place like Wakanda, a country like Wakanda, that isolationism, like, the moral complexities that would come with that. And I guess to the same point that you just explained, I won't explain it again, but that's how I arrived there. And so the movie, it was so compelling on, like, a number of levels, and even just thinking about it now, I'm thinking about some of the lines that were said, and it was just things that you could think on for a very long time.
Yeah, like, even talking now, we're like, I came up with another theme that was in there. Like, what was it? I had it, I lost it.
It'll come back.
Damn. Well, it was just like, that's an interesting thing, like, they brought up. With the refugees. Mm-hmm. Like, it was early in the movie. Yeah. And that's like, talking about the headlines that's been going on, like, should we take refugees in? Right. And they were like, someone said that, I forgot who said it in the movie. I don't think it was T'Challa, but someone in the movie was like, we bring in refugees, they can, like, kind of corrupt our way of being. Mm-hmm. I was just like, whoa, that's, like, really harsh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was just, like, very old thinking. You know what I mean? I can only think about, like, what's going on in our country right now. Mm-hmm. We're just, like, the old way of thinking. And it's, like, they hold power, the old way of thinking. Yeah. And, like, our generation and forward are trying to, like, change it. Yeah. But it's, like, obviously being obstructed by the old guard. So it's like, kind of like that, where it's just, like, the old guard was, like, so set in their ways, and now the new guard is in, it's like, oh, no, we got to make changes. And, and Black Panther took a coup, pretty much, to have that happen. So
we're getting so deep into it that it's funny that we're missing the very surface level theme that made us able to go this deep, which was that paternal relationship between T'Challa and T'Chaka, and how you deal with, like, grieving a parent, and how his father was like, well, if I didn't raise you right, then, like, I didn't prepare you for my death, then I didn't.
Or even like that childish how you nature of perceive your parents, like, they could do no wrong, right? And it's like, and then he finds out, oh no, he was not as great of a man as I thought he was. And it's like, doesn't make him not a great man. And what are you going
to do about it? How is that going to shape who you are?
Or your thoughts about the whole, your whole life.
And I think that was a theme that put everyone in this place, no matter what you look like in the theater, where you're like, oh, I could relate to this theme. And it slowly but surely brought you into deeper and deeper and deeper. And I thought that was incredible choice Ryan Coogler's behalf. I thought that was really incredible. And the way that you pointed out in the last episode about how strong his arc was in Civil War, and I think that they really did a great job of that continuation, like you predicted.
Yeah, just like, thinking about his father and what he taught him. Mm-hmm. But like, and at the end of this arc, it was like, yeah, I took everything my father taught me to prepare me for this job, but then I got to be better than him. Yeah, sort of thing. He doesn't say that, and did the father even say that?
No, and
I thought the father would say that in like the soul spirit world thing. Was like, no, I don't want you to be me. I want you to be
he kept saying in that spirit world was good men can't be king or something.
Oh, that was like the beginning. Yeah, and which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's true.
Yeah, it's like you need to be kind of ruthless to be a ruler.
Yeah, and I liked, because a lot of times I feel like in these situations it's like our immediate reaction to this is guilt. Like T'Challa's thing is like he should feel guilty for what his father did, and I think it's really interesting to see somebody move past that and then find the courage to kind of be that change, that they want to see, because I feel like guilt is often something that can just hold us back as people, and instead of focusing on what we can do next or what the solutions are or what our options are, we just kind of sit back and just like feel bad for ourselves and for others, instead of like taking the action.
Yeah.
And so I really like that.
Yeah. Just like, I was saying, like, the sins of the father. That's, like, such an old, like a trope.
Right.
The sins of the father is, like, my father fucked up, so now I have to pay for it, sort of thing. You see that in all sorts of media, and that's what happened here. It's like, his father fucked up. All he had to do was, like, yeah, he killed his own brother. That's, it happened. But it's like,
it happens.
Yeah, because he tried to kill him, so, I'm self-defense.
Right.
So it's just like, damn, but you leave the kid there. Mm-hmm. And the father said, yeah, because he was a reminder of something I was trying to forget. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, what kind of shit is that? You know what I mean? It's just like, and it was interesting because, like I said, like in Civil War, what brought him around on his whole vendetta thing was his father and what his father would teach him. And then by the end of this movie, because you see it, like, because when he first becomes a king, and he talks to his father, and like you said, you can't be a kind person to be king or whatever.
Right.
And it's like, you kind of saw that in him. He's kind of like embodying that, like, okay, whatever, we're going to stick to the way we do things, and we're going to do this and this and this. And it didn't work out for him. Yeah. So then he's like, then he had to realize, like, no, your way of doing things was wrong. Right. I'm doing it my way. Mm-hmm. And that's when all this change happened. So.
But we just talked about, like, pretty much all the major themes. So, but, like, as far as this details, we left off talking about the battle in Korea.
Oh, yeah, that casino. Oh, yeah, the casino, and then the car scene was really cool.
From the trailers, I think that was what we...
Yeah, a lot of that was from the trailers.
I liked how she was VR.
I kept seeing, like, the Lexus commercials, and it was confusing me. I'm like, is she there or not?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it makes so much sense now. Mm-hmm. So, that was cool. No. She was really funny. Like, she had me laughing. Shuri.
And the two, Lupita and the other actor.
Denai Guerrera.
Yeah, them two together was great to see.
Oh, that one scene where Claw blasts the car they're in, and she, like...
Yo!
She kind of, like, stops herself, and all you see is the Lupita, like...
I know.
That was funny.
Yeah. They have great chemistry together.
She's so good, Denai Guerrera.
I know.
I watch her on Walking Dead, and I think she's great on The Walking Dead. But she, like, stole the show here. Like, oof.
I know.
Like, all the performances were really good.
Yeah. So Korea, I mean, damn, we just like talked about it all. So now, like, I'm.
Yeah, I mean, we could just talk about the end fight, I guess.
What'd you think? So Rocco had some gripe with the rhinos, and I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? That was dope. He was like, he didn't like the rhino coming into the story. I don't fucking know. I'm like, yo.
I mean, that was part of what they do.
I know. I'm like, how do you not like rhinos? I don't know.
That's cool. I mean, they're in Africa.
Like, do you not play like fucking Civilization, yo? Like, fucking the fighter elephants are like the fucking shit.
No, it's cool. Like, I love, like, lore. This is what I was saying before when I was like, I want to look up these tribes and see how close they are to the movie.
Well, I was reading a thread on Twitter of the costume design, and that actually helped me understand a lot about this tribe associations and...
Because the five were Panther tribe, obviously. The Jabaro or whatever.
Jabari.
I keep thinking, like, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
So that's how I keep reminding myself. Jabari, which is like the white gorillas. Mm-hmm. And then we had the River Tribe, which is where Lupito Nyong'o was from. Mm-hmm. And they were all in green. And then the Border Tribe, which is the Get Out guy, was all in blue. Mm. And then the Merchant Tribe was in red. Mm-hmm. And I said, that was with the old lady, was the elder. Mm. So I was just like, that's interesting. Because they all had like their own special thing. We get to see like the Merchants and the River Tribe do anything. Mm-hmm. But we're like, oh, the Border Tribe have like shields. Yeah. And they train like rhinos apparently.
I know.
Because they're the border people. Yeah. That makes sense. Like, oh, people come through. Like, all right, we're first line of defense. Mm-hmm. And then the River Tribe, obviously, she's a spy. I don't think they're all spies. Even though that would be interesting. Yeah. If the whole tribe were just spies. The Merchant Tribes, I have no idea. And then the Panther Tribe, obviously, in the Jabaro.
Some of my favorite scenes are the Winston Duke at the Jabari tribe's place where they go to like seek refuge after T'Challa M'Baku. He was so good.
Oh, when they went, what was it? When they went up to go meet him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it was one of their tribe members is the one who picked up T'Challa's body or whatever.
Yeah. It was so interesting because like. What I alluded to earlier, like his comic book iteration is so different. Yeah, he was like just a plain bad guy who's just like, like his people. He feels like his people have always been oppressed or whatever. Yeah, and that's probably still the case. And obviously, that changes by the end because now he sits with them. But like that's one thing that I would love more explanation of was like why did they isolate themselves?
Who?
That tribe.
Maybe they just they're attached to the resources is like not in the city or
I don't know. Like in the thing they were like the 5 tribes agreed that the Panther tribe will lead, but maybe I guess they just didn't agree and they left.
I don't know.
Anyway, so my point was like he's not just a plain bad guy. Like he's just looking out for his own people. Yeah. They don't have a voice in anything.
Well, it's possible with this newfound vision for Wakanda, maybe we'll see that.
Well, we do see that.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe because at the end when he goes back into the room as the king again to his group, I didn't see the guy from Get Out there anymore. Obviously, he's a traitor now. Mm. I don't know what's gonna happen to him.
Well, he decided not to be a traitor at the very end when he knelt in front of Okoye.
But still, you know.
Yeah. I love that. It was like, is it me or the country?
Oh, what was it? Yes,
and he kneels down to her. That was awesome.
Well,
it was. I was like, I'm taking that moment. I'm cherishing it forever. Like,
what was that? What was that? It was between the two of them. I don't know if it was in that moment or like earlier, where he asks her. She says she comes up with like this crazy line that was like, excuse me. It was like, if I had to choose between my love and my country or something like that.
That's the line I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was like, oh man, I choose my country. I don't remember how it went.
I know. It was such a good line. I know. Yeah.
It was like so like not easy to say. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It doesn't come off easy to say, so I can't remember it. Mm-hmm. Where it's just like, you know, I have my love and I love my country, but my duty is to my country, something like that. Yeah. I was like, oh damn, okay, fair enough.
I know, and then he stands there for like a prolonged second, and then he like kneels. It was great. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
who was your favorite character? Oh, I'll say this before we get to that. I wish T'Challa had a little bit more spotlight.
You mean his acting?
No. Him as a character.
You're fine. Yeah, take your time.
Him as a character.
I think that the other acting was so fresh and so good that I think Chadwick Boseman actually got overshined.
Well, he didn't have much to work with.
I know. Yeah.
Like his scene when he like yells at his father was really strong. Mm-hmm.
See, when he was in the lab,
even the last scenes with Killmonger.
Yeah.
You know, because he was like, he understands him.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we wronged you. My father wronged you. I get that. I'm trying to make it right. I could save your life right now. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I didn't want to save my life. Like, no.
Yeah. Well, it was like, I would rather die than be in chains or something.
Yeah.
And that was another one of those lines that you're like, oh, wow. But shit, what was I just gonna say? Yeah, I spent a while actually thinking about it. I was like, so is Chadwick Boseman like supposed to be that reserved, or was everyone else just so good? And I was like,
I think it's a combination of both.
I think it's number one is that he has a better presence when he's like, there's only like 3 people in the scene or something, 2 or 3. You know, I think he's that kind of actor from doing so many like biopics that he just, you know. But 2, I think that it also, him being so reserved and him being outshined is also what makes his character powerful. He's like the vulnerable, emotional hero, and it was really nice to see it. It was a different dynamic to see a superhero movie where the hero isn't like the most outgoing, you know. So I thought for a while I was like, did he get outshined? Could he have done anything better acting wise? And I got there, I was like, no, I think maybe that was what.
No, I liked his acting because I just think they purposefully wanted to shine the light on the other supporting characters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because Black Panther had Civil War, and he like stole almost every scene
he
was in.
Yeah. And that's what made me think, that's a good point, but that's what made me think, no, this actor has the capacity. It was clearly a choice.
I think it was a choice to get everyone else to build a world, and like, there's more characters here, not just about him. Mm-hmm. I wish they would have gave him a little bit more to do, but, you know, I can't complain because everyone else is great. Yeah. So, I asked you who your favorite character was.
Oh, shit. I don't want to say M'Baku, because I really enjoyed Nakia a lot. I think Lupita brought something to each scene, and I really liked the way the relationship between T'Challa and her was something really great. And I think the relationships overall, romantic relationships in this film were really great, and I think that I don't want to like compare it to them. I don't want to like put the parallel to the Me Too thing, but it just kind of shows you that, you know, I think it's going to take both genders to make interpersonal relationships work better. I mean, because it just set an example of, you know, mutual respect, friendship first is what I got from every romantic relationship displayed. You know, it was clear that everyone respects each other on more of a level than just a physical attraction or, you know, beauty. So I don't know. I really liked Nakia. I would say Lupita really blew it out of the park for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine was Okoye for sure.
Yeah.
I think she. I mean, it's just biased because of Walking Dead stuff, but that she was just like, her action scenes are really good. Like the intensity she brings.
I know.
It's so crazy.
By far, the best action scenes. That's for sure.
Yo, everything she did was like powerful. Mm-hmm. Every movement was so powerful.
Yeah.
So great. I thought she was gonna die.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought Killmonger was.
There wasn't too many deaths.
No, there was not.
Yeah, there wasn't too many deaths.
There was not. You lied to me.
You didn't ask the right questions, all right? What was on your list of death?
It was Claw, and you said yeah.
Yeah. I was so glad he died. Yeah.
I mean, I hate killing villains off.
But
it's
the
so
way
needless.
they killed
it's so
it
needless.
was, yeah.
Like, that means you can never use those characters ever again.
That's fine. But Claw is a really big part of
his history.
But I think that we can do it better than Claw.
Probably could.
Yeah.
But I just think killing off villains is dumb. Yeah. I don't know, whatever.
Well, now both his villains are gone.
Yeah.
It's a clean slate. I guess he's going to switch focus to his diplomatic efforts and saving Bucky. All right, so you didn't pick up on the first reference of, another white guy, which was like within the first 30 minutes. I didn't pick up on that either until the after credits. Yeah. But that scene didn't really tell us much, but it told us what we all knew anyway.
The post credits? Mm-hmm. With Bucky? The only thing that explained to me, which I could be totally wrong, is that Shuri kind of fixed his brain.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Which I'm like,
that was
good.
Insinuated from the Civil War post credits, though.
No, kind of. Yeah, they were like, we're gonna work on him or whatever, because they kept him on ice.
Yeah. So. What struck me was, you have a lot to learn, she said to him, and I was like,
because he missed a lot.
I was like, does that mean that she had to erase part of his functions to like?
No, I mean, I think she has a lot to learn, like, about where he's at. One.
Oh, I thought he said you have a lot to like, as if like Bucky has a lot to learn.
Yeah, like where you're in Wakanda.
Oh, okay.
And what's been going on since you've been frozen.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. I don't know. That's how I took it.
Okay, that probably makes sense. Yeah. How long do you think it's been that he's been?
Since the end of Civil War. That was 2 years ago.
It didn't seem like that long.
That was 2 years ago, right?
Well, it's not in real time. You know.
You'd be surprised.
It's not.
I saw Thor Ragnarok again this weekend. What much better on the second viewing, I must say.
Okay.
Because when Bruce Banner comes out of not being the Hulk anymore, he goes, "How long have I been there?" It's like, what about Sokovia? It's like, oh, Sokovia was 2 years ago, and in real life that was 2 years ago.
Interesting. So it could have been over a year or so.
Yeah. So it's like, but what has happened?
Yeah.
Nothing. Because everything else has been in space. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Thor Ragnarok. Because after Civil War, what was there? Nothing.
Spider-Man, I guess. But that happened before. No, that happened a while.
Oh, Spider-Man happened after Civil War. Yeah, that was it. Nothing really happened.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was a little tired of the fight scene when they're doing it in, like, the subway area.
Oh, that was not a very visually appeasing fight. It was just so dark, and I was just like...
But I love that he carried him to the sunset.
Oh, yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
So I just love that. I love how he's gonna carry him to the sunset.
I didn't want him to die, but... Yeah.
Excuse me.
Well, that's pretty much it, right?
Oh, my last question. Do you think Killmonger is the best Marvel villain?
I don't want to say best, but I'll say most compelling for me personally.
Yeah. That's a hard... Best is a hard.
I mean, what are the options? Like,
there's not much.
Yeah, like, what are the options there? Like, definitely not anything as of late, you know?
Because, like, he was only, like, in half the movie.
If you're talking villains, I mean, like, I enjoyed, like, Bucky as a pseudo-villain, you know?
Agreed.
I liked that.
I'm like, people don't want to, like, say he's a villain. It's like, he kind of was for that whole movie.
He was a fucking villain. Like, there's no question about it. Yeah. I just think because he just put up such a good fight, you know? But it wasn't...
I like Zemo in Civil War, honestly.
You did?
I liked his motivations are almost similar. I was thinking about this yesterday, I think it was, and comparing Killmonger and Zemo, and they were almost comparable in their motives. I know it's really oversimplifying it, where it's just like, obviously his Killmonger has a lot to do with his father and kind of race relations sort of thing, and Zemo's was like, my family was killed by these heroes, so I'm getting vengeance.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, it's like the heroes killed my father, so I'm getting vengeance on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like that's oversimplifying Killmonger's whole thing. But that's kind of I like Zemo's motives like a little better and how he did it.
I mean, I liked how throwaway they did Vulture.
You like?
I like that it was such a throwaway villain situation where it's like, okay, he's been collecting these parts or whatever, blah blah blah, the relation to the past movies, and then it was just kind of over. I don't know.
But the best part about that is he didn't die. So he could come back and whatever.
Yeah. I liked how stupid it was, I guess. Like, but there's by no means best, but I enjoyed it. I mean,
What, Loki?
I just fucking hate Loki. Like, I fucking hate the guy. Like, I'm sorry, actor or whatever, but, like, dude.
Tom Hiddleston?
He's great, but, like, no, Loki, I don't want to see your fucking face. Like, I'm sorry. If they, like, put the camera on him for more than, like, 2 seconds and fucking...
What about Thanos as a villain? Come on. He's in every movie. Mentioned in every movie.
Oh, my God. Are you... So, Black Panther, did it quell some of your worries about Infinity War, or did it maybe...
It gave me... I have no idea. Like, it gave me no... There was, like, no connection between the two for me.
Really?
I like that corner of the universe is now set and ready to go. And if we look back at, like, the trailer and them, like, running through the forest or whatever, like, I'm looking forward to getting to see these characters again. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
So I guess in a way, yeah. I'm more excited for it.
Yeah. I'm just still worried that it's a bit much. You know? It's a bit much.
No, as long as it's split into 2 movies, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah. And I was talking to Scott about that, too. That's funny. I like haven't talked to Scott on Slack in, like, 2 years, but, like... but, yeah, I'm interested to see how Infinity War will handle kind of Wakanda out in the light now, and how we'll see some of that technology kind of spread, So I'm not so much looking forward to Tony Stark and, like, Shuri meeting, because I think that's, like...
Are they going to meet?
People are, that's what people want to see. I'd rather see her and Spider-Man meet. But.
There was a picture someone put up. It was like the teenagers that are gonna save the world. It's like Shuri, Spider-Man, and Teen Groot.
Oh my god, that's actually really funny though.
I was like, oh yes, there you go.
So another interesting point was people obviously are talking Storm, Black Panther, but in the comics, Lupita's character Nakia goes evil.
Really?
Yeah.
How? Why?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I just know that.
I don't think they can't go that route.
And I think the Breakfast Club, Charlemagne asked Chadwick Boseman about it, and he was like, "Yeah, Lupita would kill me if I said I want Storm because she still wants a job, or it means that she's gonna go evil or something."
I don't think they're gonna have the X-Men in the universe.
They can't do that. Yeah.
For a very long time.
Yeah.
Because they're still doing their thing. Storm's gonna be in the new Dark Phoenix movie, so.
Mhm. And they're opening the resource center and stuff in Oakland. Shuri's gonna be in charge of that, so we know she's gonna be in the United States. Shuri.
Oh, we don't know if she's gonna be in the United States per se. They're gonna have different sites around the world where.
But she's running the one in Oakland.
She runs how much they actually give out.
I got the impression that maybe she's gonna move.
No.
I think
she's traveling.
Okay.
To the different places because I forgot how they did science and tech
they can move
exchange or something like that.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm gonna give you just enough without giving you everything we have.
Yeah.
And giving out all our secrets because they still have to protect themselves. You know what I mean? So.
Okay, I have a bold prediction to make.
What?
I think Sam Wilson is in Wakanda too. I think Cap, Bucky, and Sam are there.
Well, we saw in the trailer that he's in that.
Well, I mean, now, not in that scene.
No, I don't think so.
I think so.
I think he'll get there.
I think he needs some new wings. And I'm hoping Shuri will, give this man the upgrade he deserves, because his fucking costume is trash.
Give this man a shield.
It's trash, his costume. He needs an upgrade.
So why... So you think that Shuri, who created Cap's new shield, that just goes... Instead of just, a normal shield? Made of vibranium that they already have?
Fuck yeah.
I don't know if I like that.
I don't like it either, but it is what it is. It's too robot.
Oh, I want her to create his new metal arm for Bucky.
Yeah, you know what's happening.
Oh,
she's already done it. She's already
because he had no arm when he woke up.
Yeah. I'm just thinking to myself, because that thing in Civil War, they're all on a plane, right? Cap and Bucky and T'Challa.
What do you mean?
Weren't they in transit to Wakanda?
At the end?
Mm-hmm.
No, they were in the room.
Okay. Well, I just I'm thinking to myself, it's why would Cap have any reason to not be in Wakanda right now? You know? Why would he stay in the country? So I'm just thinking the core of the core of Team Cap, Sam, I feel like the three.
But remember, Sam was in prison.
I think it's insinuated that Black Panther and Cap go save everybody.
Well, we saw in the Civil War that they all got released.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Tony who did it.
Okay.
So they're all out. That's why Ant-Man's out.
Right.
So they're all out. I don't know where they went.
Yeah.
I don't think they went to Wakanda because how are they going to get to Wakanda?
Not all of them.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe not. Maybe my bold prediction.
There's another screenshot of the last shot of Civil War where T'Challa and Cap with clean shaven are looking out the window, and in the trailer the same shot, but he has a scraggly beard. They go, "How long have they been looking out this window?" I was like, "Oh shit, that's funny."
But I'll say Cap is in Wakanda. I think he's in Wakanda. Yeah.
Maybe.
I think he is.
You mean during this whole incident he was there?
Yes.
Why did he do anything?
He's out in the burbs. He's out in the rural. Think of, they had fucking Bucky recovering in a fucking hut. Cap is there. There's no doubt in my mind. Because if Shuri was out doing whatever, somebody had to keep an eye on Bucky. It's Cap. He's there. There's no doubt. He's out in that hut, growing that beard. He's there. I'm convinced.
I don't know.
And I just really pray, Shuri, just make this man a new wings, because that Falcon costume is really bad.
Right.
No, it's so corny.
It needs to be
it's so
streamlined.
It's so corny.
Who else needs a new stuff? Oh, I don't know. Shuri's the smartest person in the world, so I don't know.
Everyone just like throwing it out there.
Because she is. Like, you just healed a guy's spine.
Yeah.
Like, yo. She knows biology. She knows really, tech.
Yeah. Damn. I hope we learn more about the beads and stuff.
That's crazy. Like, it just like kind of like controls everything. Mm-hmm. Just because.
But all right. Well, did we cover everything, or we're missing like? I feel like we're missing like the third out of fourth quarter of the movie. But I think it's all right. I think it's just fight scenes.
Yeah, because after that Korea thing was like, yeah, that was it. Oh, I guess him becoming king.
Yeah, nothing really.
And the whole
you went through that. Yeah.
Going to M'Baku's place,
right? And
him getting his redemption and stuff, which was nice.
Yeah, I just never like when they like kill a character mid-movie. It's like, you know, everyone knows he's not dead, right? Like, you know.
Oh, T'Challa. Yeah.
Yeah, but I get it, but it's just.
I liked it because it was like loophole.
But you know what it was though?
I'm not dead.
There's a famous comic book cover of Killmonger tossing T'Challa out off the waterfall.
Oh, nice.
So I think that's probably where they wanted to recapture that imagery.
Well, I mean, you're gonna toss over a waterfall. You're like. Especially when he got, like, stabbed up.
Yeah, that was a brutal fight scene. Brutal. I was cringing the whole time.
Did he win? Like, he just straight up won, right?
Yeah.
But
you only win if you kill or you agree to stop or whatever. Yeah.
Because the M'Baku said it's like, he took over the thing. Oh, it sounds like he lost in a fair fight. He's just a sore loser or something like that.
Yeah.
I was just like, did he though? You know what I mean? I'm thinking about it, like...
I can't believe Forrest Whitaker's character is dead. That was sad. That's another death.
That was another death.
That was a death. Yeah. But anyhow, all right. Well, for me, it was. I don't want to say 10 out of 10, but I think it was. Yeah.
It was a 10 out of 10 for you?
I think, yeah. 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Not that matters anymore.
No, that matters.
Yeah.
I think I need to see a movie one more time.
I do need to see it one more time
to really like. Solidify it in my favorite list.
I think I'll actually be purchasing this movie as well.
Oh yeah,
I think I'm gonna
easily
purchase.
A purchasable movie.
Yeah, purchase. Yeah.
Like I have my like superhero movies and then Marvel movies, and it's like sometimes it goes in and out. But if we're going strictly Marvel movies, this is easily top 5. Easily.
Top 3, I would say.
That's a strong.
I mean, I don't even know what the other 2 would be. I mean, for
Winter Soldier is my favorite.
It's not
I
mine.
love Winter Soldier. I don't know. I still like Winter Soldier better than this movie.
For me, it sounds stupid, but it's the Avengers. And
the first one? Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good movie.
It's one of those things where, like, I saw that movie in theaters, and the experience was like, whoa.
What was?
The first Avengers movie.
Oh, I know.
Where it's like, everyone was into that shit.
For me, it's Iron Man, Black Panther, The Avengers.
Iron Man's
my top 3.
Mine's just Winter Soldier.
I would say Iron Man, Black Panther, then The Avengers. But only Iron Man, just because it's so...
It's still good.
Those 3 movies are, in my opinion, Marvel's most iconic. Like, the Black Panther was a cultural moment, you know? Iron Man spurred off a cultural phenomena, you know? The Avengers kind of set down the template for, like, what superhero movies, team-up movies can be. So, in my mind, those 3 are the most important, I think.
I want to say, because this is before Black Panther. I saw Black Panther. It was Winter Soldier, Avengers, Guardians 1.
Okay.
My top 3.
Solid argument for Guardians.
I don't know if Black Panther overtakes Guardians. It's close. I gotta see it again.
Just for me, the impact is just, no matter if you like the movie or not, all the way, like, this movie is just...
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah, it's just going to change stuff, you know? And maybe not in the way, I'm not going to be naive to say, the whole industry is changing, but you know what? Fuck the people who are going to be like, well, this isn't going to change anything. Well, you know what? You gotta take what we can.
It's gonna change a lot of things because
yeah.
This is like the second best Marvel movie of all time.
Within the context of what Ryan Coogler has done and the first that he has done, the fact that like Marvel execs handed him this and he clearly just took his vision and made it a reality, I think that's fucking huge. Like there's people of color at the table now, you know.
The thing is, like, all that aside, doesn't mean anything that the movie is not good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's what he said in the interview too. But now that it's getting all these positive reactions,
like that. First and foremost, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a very good movie.
Yeah.
So all the themes and everything, and the background of race and all that stuff, that's all good, well and good. But the movie is good.
Yeah.
And if the movie's not good, none of that matters. So it's just a really good movie that anyone will enjoy.
Yep. Yeah. Especially the kids, man. This next generation. I'm really excited for them.
Yeah.
Like, you know, imagine if this was like, if you're like 5, this is the first movie you've ever gone to the theater to see. Can you imagine that?
That's crazy.
To think about that, like, brings tears to my eyes, honestly. Like, because that's just, like, incredible. Like, that, oh, man. This is getting the tears.
You get so emotional.
I know. Well, because it's big. Oh, okay. Whew. All right. No tears are out of the eyes yet. So,
okay.
Yeah. It's just glossy.
The second movie in less than a year that got you teary.
Oh my God, I know.
Wonder Woman and now
I know. Wonder Woman and now this. All right, well, on that teary-eyed note, I don't know. Unless you have a joke to crack or something.
No jokes. I'll let you close out.
What do we got coming up next week? What's coming up?
God, I don't know.
Jones is coming up, so probably in the next 2 weeks we'll have in the next 2 weeks or so we got something on Jones. Besides that, The Flash isn't back for a while.
Is it come back today?
No.
Okay.
Not until like the 27th. Not until next week.
Next week, okay.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s not back for a while.
For a
I mean, we
while.
might not have an episode next. I mean,
maybe we could we'll do something fun.
Yeah. All right.
We'll do something fun.
Well, on that note, that's all for today. Make sure to give us a follow on Twitter, and we'll see you guys next week.
Later.